One new feature that has been officially released in version 8 of Particleworks is the improved torque model. Now this, you may have already been playing around with this as a beta version in the past. However, this is now an official release, and the way that we implement this is far easier than before and far more user friendly. For those of you that have not used the improved torque model in the past, what this does is essentially it accounts for the air inside the transmission. Now in reality, as the gears turn, it will entrap air between the gears and the oil, meaning that we get a negative pressure inside the gear pits, which will draw more oil into this region. This means that more oil is in contact with the gears, thus increasing the overall churning losses of the system. Plus, it means that more oil is thrown around inside the casing. Now, to do this using air particles would be unfeasible because it would massively increase the simulation time. So the way that the improved torque model works instead is it applies a potential amplifier to the surface tension coefficient of any particle which is in contact with a fast-moving polygon. The effect of that amplification is scaled by how fast the polygon is turning. So for a much slower gear, it would feel a much lower amplification than compared to a faster moving gear. The way that we actually implement this is by first clicking our scene up in the outline window at the top here, and then within our properties we can scroll down to potential amplifier. If we open this up, we first need to click enable, and this will mean that Particleworks will now use the improved torque model when we run the simulation. We then have to apply the coefficients for different tip speeds. The way that we do this is by importing a CSV of the coefficients and the potential amplifiers. Rather than doing these by hand, we have a script which will generate these coefficients for you, then all you need to do is import it. We'll share this script with you afterwards, and it is very user-friendly and only requires a few user inputs. So I have it open here in Notepad++, and these are the user inputs that we need to update. So first of all, we have the gear radius, and the units here are meters. We then need to input the maximum RPM, and this is for the gear that has the highest pitch line velocity. You then need to update the path to where you want this file to be saved to. And then finally adding in the density, surface tension coefficient of the oil that you will be simulating within your transmission. And finally, the particle size, again in meters, that you'll be using in simulation. There's a few other user inputs here that you may want to update. However, there usually is no need to update these for any standard simulation. The rest of the script is then just working out the coefficients, and you do not need to modify any of that at any point. Now, if you have a Python console yourself, you can run it through the Python console. However, Particleworks in the latest version does have a built-in Python solver. So what we can do is go to File, Run Script. I'll go and find that script, which I've saved onto my desktop here. Click Open, and there we go, it's completed. I can then go and look at that file, and we can see we have our tip speeds and our amplification on the right hand side there. All I then need to do is go and import this file into our potential amplifier. So again, click the scene within outline, go to potential amplifier, import, direct to that file, and everything is completed. I can then go and run the simulation, and the improved torque model will be enabled.